Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Shelf Comics. I'm Tommy, joined by Murphy.
Hello.
We're talking about the top 5 comics for January 25th, 2023. Got a couple weeks into the year now. How was your week, Murphy?
Good. I spent today trying to merge and catalog stuff. Basically, everything that hadn't been scanned into CLZ Comics got. Well, I started on it. I got about halfway, but
Yeah.
then merging them after they're scanned into the greater collection is also a huge undertaking.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That is a weekend project of mine. This upcoming
Yeah,
weekend, I'm hoping to tackle that. But
it's. I'm going to be working on it this weekend too.
yeah.
Now, what have you been doing though?
I've been doing a lot of things. It's been very busy in Flesh and Blood, so I've been playing a lot of cards. But also, related to cards, kind of, is I got back into One Piece and decided to start reading One Piece, which
What
is,
you talk about an insane undertaking.
yeah. Do I plan on finishing it? No, probably not. But I've been enjoying reading it on the Shonen Jump app, and I don't know. I read it as a kid. I don't know how far I got. I was in high school, middle school, maybe middle school.
Yeah, I mean, same with me. I read it and watched the show
I never watched the
when we were
show. I
younger.
started
Oh, you
watching the
never watched
show
the show?
this week.
Oh, I like the show.
This week we started the
Um,
show.
yeah, and then recently a friend of mine had gotten back into it, and he doesn't have anything going on, so he just goes home and watches the show. You know,
Fair enough.
and I then looked it up and I was like, "Oh my goodness, they really are over 1,000 episodes."
Yeah.
I was like, "Done, can't do it."
Yeah. Yeah.
One,
It's pretty wild.
like once you hit 1,000,
It's a lot.
that's a lot. That's
But I'm
just the show too,
right.
and the manga's further.
Yeah. And so, but I'm already on like 8 or 9.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't take that long, but I feel like it's still an undertaking. Like I get a couple done a day, but I don't know. It's a thing.
Shout
My
out to the Shonen Jump app, though.
For real, it
I
is
do love it.
the
Like,
best. Like I would read so many more comics if the DC Universe and Marvel apps were
it's
that good.
what, $1.99 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2.99.
I use it to keep up with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Ball Super, like in between all the movies and the seasons,
Right.
the content comes out in the manga. Um, so that's what I use it for. And just like randomly, just I'm like, today is a manga reading day. That's
Yeah.
just what I'm doing.
But this is not a
So,
manga reading show. This is a comic reading
no.
show. So we're going to jump into our top 5. Our number 5 this week. Action Comics 1051.
So just to start it, this is going to be the beginning of the dawn of DC. So the
Led by
fallout
our
from
boy.
led by our boy Nightwing.
Oh, it's so exciting.
But so this is all falling out of the Dark Crisis event. But there are going to be 3 stories. So Speeding Bullets Part 1, Home Again Part 1, Head Like a Hole Part 1. So Action Comics Reborn. Action Comics 1051 begins a new format for DC's most action-packed title, offering not one, not two, but 3 epic adventures of Superman and the entire Super family. Following the bombshell events of Action Comics 1050, the world's relationship with Superman is forever changed. The upper limits of his supercharged powers have yet to be reached, and the House of L's transformation of Metropolis, led by Steel, has begun. But Lex Luthor has found the perfect instrument with which to undo everything Superman is working to achieve, Metallo, whose hatred of Superman is matched only by his hatred for Luthor himself. Then in Lois and Clark 2, Doom Rising, Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks return to tell the tale of a young John Kent on the farm with his parents, learning about his abilities, coming of age, and battling the Doombreaker. And finally, Power Girl returns in part 1 of a 3-part story spinning out of Lazarus Planet. This issue marks the first appearance of new characters, new costumes, and a new era of action comics. It all starts here. Whew!
So that was a
That's a lot.
lot.
That's a lot. Well, so
I'm
I
glad
mean,
you volunteered to read that one.
I think I did pretty
You
smoothly
did.
on it too.
You got it.
Uh, but no, Action Comics 1050 was awesome. It set up some good stories.
Hmm.
I am excited. I've really never pulled Action Comics. To be honest, I've just kind of picked it up randomly here and there when like a story looked like it was going to interest me,
Hmm.
and I did add it to my pull list. Also, because I'm a glutton for spending money, but you know, it's just one of those things. I'm actually pretty excited. Now, we've always talked about, like the things that the publishers do at the beginning of the year,
Hmm.
and this one's probably that. They're like, "Oh, new storytelling for
But this is a
2023."
new. But it's like each issue is now going to be these three stories.
Well, it'll be 3 stories, not only these 3.
No, I know.
So,
So it's more
yeah.
like the I don't know. I am not a fan of this. Uh it's like making every issue like Batman Legends, Urban Legends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just I'd rather I'm leaning so far away from short stories and more into long form non crossover books. That's just
Yeah.
where my what is attracting me right now. And it pains me because this looks really fun and I want to read it, but it's so low on my.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, it
the
just seems
the
like
the
one of
whole
those
idea of
things.
this kicking off the new era is super cool though.
um, I am happy, if I'm gonna spoil something from 1050, but I'm spoiling it for you for your own good.
Spoiler warning.
Uh, Lex Luthor gets rid of everyone knowing about Clark Kent being
Hmm.
Superman, uh, which I think it's pretty sweet how they set it up. Basically, nobody he can't go and tell people. Like he can't just like go back and tell people that he's Superman because the way Lex Luthor does it, basically it'll give him like an aneurysm. So he has to keep his secret again, because Lex Luthor wants Superman to be like dehumanized again. He wants the world to see Superman as this god for whatever his plans are.
Okay.
Um, so I'm really excited about the fact that now we're gonna get some, I feel like, otherworldly stories again. Because I also like Superman when it's like he's Superman, not Clark Kent being a separate story. Like it's like having your Peter Parker back.
Right.
Like I like him having the secret identity, and
Absolutely.
I think that this is going to give them a lot of leeway. Now there are a lot of super family people
There are. It's like it's
though.
it's almost like they saw the success of the Bat family and were like, "Huh,
They're like, yeah, let's just give them
let's
all
just do that." Yeah.
superpower.
Let's just make a Superman family.
Well, so that'll take us into our number 4 this week, which is Saga 61.
Yeah. New story arc. Saga is back, and it's time for another epic season of emotional adventures and shocking surprises for Hazel and her star-crossed family. So, Saga is a book that I love dearly and has was gone for a very long time, for like 2 3 years, and came back, had one story arc, and one or two,
One, I think one, and then took
one, and then here we are
like
again.
another, what, like 8 months off or something like that. Maybe not.
I think it's only been a couple months. Saga has sold 7 million copies to date across single issue, trade paperback, compendium, hardcover, and digital editions, and has been translated in over 20 languages. The series also boasts multiple Eisner Awards, Harvey Awards, a Hugo Award, British Fantasy Award, Goodreads Choice Award, Schuster Award, Inkwell Award, Ringo Award, and more. It has been featured in such mainstream media outlets as Time, Entertainment Weekly, The Atlantic, NPR, and more. The series has become a pop culture phenomenon and has been immortalized with references and Easter eggs, appearing in such popular TV shows as Supernatural, The Big Bang Theory, The Simpsons, and even a recent Taco Bell commercial featuring the characters dressed in cosplay. I like how they chose to end it with
with
the
Taco Bell,
Taco Bell
because
commercial
that's the
cosplay.
most important. Now,
Yeah.
is this could so dear viewers,
Mhm.
uh, I've never read it, just never done it. Now
Blasphemy.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been it's on the list, and actually now that I'm caught up, I could read it. I could start tomorrow. Um, but are we kind of seeing like what other independent comic has had this much success other than like The Walking Dead?
Invincible.
Mm, it has a show,
No, I
but it's
think
not. You think it's Invincible would be as big as The Walking Dead?
no. No, no.
Like I'm talking about in like mainstream, like what they're talking about is the stuff that Superman, Batman, you know, Spider-Man, like the main publishers,
Mhm.
big characters have done, like a Taco Bell commercial,
Yeah, right.
Like Image has put out a lot of good stuff, but what else would hit this level of success outside of the main publishers?
I don't know. I mean, Something's Killing the Children, I think, is picking up, but it's not Saga level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we're also in that time. It's coming. It's coming around the corner.
I I
Every
I really think it is because it's one of those books that reads very well in trade, and so
Mhm.
stores are it's one of those books that stores are constantly ordering and restocking for the trade volumes. And they come in all these different versions. There's the hardcovers, which are like a couple trades together, then the compendiums, which are massive. Um, so it comes in all different versions of reading it because it's been out a while. But there are when I go into a new comic book store and I go look in their back issues, there are two, three, three series that I look for, and they are Walking Dead, Invincible, and Saga. And
Yeah.
a lot of the times you will find like just random issues that are like cover price, and
Yeah.
it's they've been out a while, and I just am shocked. Like there are like the first appearances, the big issues, they are expensive, but I think there's a lot of gems that are just being looked over.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm just trying to I enjoy collecting them, so I like having trying to complete the run. That's how I collect comics is trying to complete runs. And I know Saga's kind of out of reach to complete the whole thing because like the first issue is like a couple grand. It's expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Raw, it's around a grand, I think. Last time I looked. But the first
I
one.
don't know. Spend that money.
What?
Spend that money, man.
No. No.
Nobody's gonna get mad about it.
But yeah, I mean, and I've been able to piece together throughout my collecting and going to different stores. I've been able to piece together like a decent amount of those runs because Walking Dead started way well before when I started picking
Yeah.
up comics. So my I have some early Walking Dead that I've been able to find, but nothing like no Michonnes, no Governors, no big
Yeah.
first appearances, but some early numbers. Like I have some in the under 30, under issue 30, some like high 20s, I think.
I have
But
a buddy who has number one.
I have a number
And
one.
yeah.
It's the Philadelphia Comic Con convention cover
Oh, nice.
from like
Hey, it's a number one
2012
though.
or whatever, 2011.
Whatever.
I was there.
Whatever.
I got it. Yeah, I got it from going there. Uh, I think I have two copies because yeah, yeah, I think I have two copies. But either way, and that's why I am dedicated to completing the run of The Walking Dead Deluxe. So that is
Yeah.
something that I still pull and every other week. And I don't know, it'll be nice to have like that complete run because some of those covers are gorgeous.
Yeah. They've done a very good job with that. And also, again, that's a series that like you can't even match that popularity. They literally
No,
just ended it and then started putting it right back
they're
out from
like,
the beginning
oh, we're
again.
just gonna do it again, but in color.
Yeah, like whatever.
Like, yeah, okay. But and it has nice like cardstock covers too. It is deluxe. But super excited to have Saga back in our monthly rotation of books.
For as
Um,
long as it is.
until it's not. Yeah. Moving on to our number 3, we have The Last Ronin Lost Years, number 1.
So, in the smash hit miniseries TMNT The Last Ronin, readers witness the final gut wrenching days of the heroes in a half shell. For Michelangelo, in particular, the march to his heartbreaking last battle was long and dangerous, taking him from New York City to Japan, across Asia and Europe, and then back home again to administer final justice against those guilty of killing his family. But what happened during those fateful years when he had only the need for vengeance and Master Splinter's journal to guide him? What battles did he fight? What hard lessons did he learn? The time has come to find out as original miniseries writers Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz join artist Ben Bishop to reveal what adventures the last Ronin experienced during his vengeful journey. While in the present, a new master, Casey Mary, ah, Casey Marie Jones, prepares her young Terrapin students to be the next generation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, if you didn't read The Last Ronin, you should.
Mm.
I enjoy the big magazine format.
I
You
don't.
know,
I don't.
I
I
know
can't do it. We were
we're
talking
split
before.
on
Yeah.
this one. I'm just a huge TMNT fan. Love them.
Yeah,
They're
me too.
also
Yeah.
right now. They're also in the Power Rangers crossover,
Again.
which I picked up a bunch of covers for the first one because it was like a connecting cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, so this one, uh, either way, as a fan of the property itself, um, they're going to be new turtles. They're new mutated turtles who I'd assume also become teenagers and also become ninjas. So all
The
in all,
path
I do
tracks.
expect I'll save numbers 2, 3, however many issues there are. I'll save judgment for a different time, but in my opinion, the first one's going to be worth picking up just because that's huge.
Yeah.
When how many? Oh, it doesn't say how many there are. But new turtles,
I
new
thought The
turtles.
Last Ronin was going to be Kevin Eastman's last story. So is this just continuing it? Did
Uh,
I just fall for it again?
we fall for that all the time. Like, how many times has Elton John had his final tour? you know. No, so they had
Fair
kind of
enough.
said that it was Kevin Eastman's last one, but it almost felt like it was more just that it was a story they never told. They kind of morphed it towards the end of the run from like being the final one to being like, oh, we're
One that
gonna
was
tell
never
these old stories. But yeah, no, we fall for that every time
every
they say
time. Every
that.
time.
Every time.
But
All right, well that'll
moving
move
on.
us on to number 2,
Mhm.
Star Wars: The High Republic, The Blade, number 2.
Part 2, Unmatched. Jedi Master Porter Ingle has journeyed with his sister Barash to a planet far on the Republic frontier in response to a desperate request for aid. They are certain they will succeed. No one in the galaxy fights like Jedi Porter Ingle. No warrior can stand against him. No no one even comes close. They are certain until they see what awaits them. So,
Porter Angle is not a Jedi name though. like
right,
that's a bad Jedi name. like for like the blade like
Porter Angle.
like that sounds like
Ingle?
a dude from
Ingle?
Florida.
Florida man saves the galaxy.
Florida man wields laser sword. like, all things considered, I do enjoy this so far. Issue 1 was pretty sweet. Um
Yeah.
and I'm all for more Star Wars content, as I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, just Porter Angle. No, so this one is going to be boasting a few. Well, I'm not sure if a few, but some new first appearances for High Republic characters,
Mhm.
which, as Tommy and I have talked about, is coming up soon. We're going to start probably hearing way more about movies and plans for the High Republic IP,
Yeah.
just in general. And I mean, so these new characters coming out in the comics. This is the first wave of the High Republic content. So gotta pick it up while it's hot.
Yeah. No, I think the High Republic's gonna be really cool. I think the general public is pretty tired of I don't even know if they are actually though. Like the
I don't
original
know, man.
I don't
The
think you can be.
Mandalorians really kind of put it back.
I know.
Like
But
I hate to talk
the
so
Mandalorian
I like you you
the
go.
Mandalorian also um is using characters that what I meant to say is they are getting tired of the original characters, but they
Mhm.
aren't tired of the universe.
Yeah.
So they have all these new characters, these new planets, these new storylines that they can explore and tell without being restricted by going back in time.
Yeah. Now the
And
only thing I think that I mean, and I think that Star Wars in general as a universe is going to have to struggle with this now is that they really did think that we were done with the original universe. They thought, okay, well, we'll end the Skywalker saga fast. Like they put out 3 movies in 5 years or
yeah,
whatever it was,
yeah,
like 5.5 years, um, and then move on to the High Republic. And that they thought that was the way it was going to go. And then, I mean, John Favreau, though, he really, uh, the Mandalorian saved it. So now, I mean, that's the thing is they're going to continue to put out original like Skywalker universe
hmm
stuff, and then I don't know if that slows down the High Republic at
I
all
I think I think High Republic. Once we get the first movie confirmed,
once it starts.
yeah, once it
Yeah,
starts, then we'll be able to tell more.
well,
But
because they're already talking about Taika Waititi.
hmm
They're talking about Ryan Johnson.
hmm
Then they're talking about there's one other I was reading about the other day, um, that are all like seemingly on the cusp of being announced. You know,
that's exciting.
so I mean, we're gonna start getting stuff soon, and these early comics. I mean, that original 15 issue run is gonna
Right?
be huge. Um, the main High Republic runs just starting over again,
Yeah.
introducing
Volume
more
2. Yeah.
Jedi, more conflict, like setting the world,
Mhm.
and I do like this book, like a book centered around just a dude who's like the best lightsaber
The Blade.
duelist. Yeah, like
Yeah.
good. I'm glad they gave him the blue. Like, you gotta give him blue.
Yeah.
Like,
Only appropriate.
only appropriate. But no, so this one I'm excited for. Um, Now there are two High Republic, stories going on at the same time too.
Yeah.
So it's all growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of stories that are growing, we have Inferno Girl Red, number 1.
So, a new school, new relationships, new possibilities. For any teenager, big moves are both challenging and exciting. But it's a whole other thing for Cassia Costa because an ancient cult and their army of demons has ripped her new home of Apex City out of our universe and cast it into darkness. To have any hope of saving it, Cassia must survive the worst night of her life, embrace the secret legacy, and find the courage to fight when all seems lost as the blazing light of hope in the dark, Inferno Girl Red, from creators Erica DeRusso and Matt Groom. The saga of the newest Image Comics superhero begins here. So,
Wouldn't be a top
oh
5 without an image number 1.
yeah, Image number one.
Is our number 1.
Um, yeah, right. They usually, I feel like they don't usually hit number
They
one.
don't yeah, it's usually a Batman or a Spider-Man or a Nightwing or
But
we're not predictable at
no, this,
all.
I mean, the massive verse is exactly that. It's massive.
Yeah,
There,
it's
it's grown
awesome.
so much. I just read Dead Lucky
Mhm.
#5, which I've said on YouTube. I'm probably giving up, but then I don't. You
Yeah.
know, um, but it's really starting to cross over. I mean, the one villain from Radiant Black, who then was in Radiant Red, was then now just in um, Dead Lucky #5.
Mhm.
So it seems like I mean, they are successfully growing this superhero image universe, and this is gonna be the next one, and it looks badass.
Could you
Like she,
imagine? I know. Like these this whole universe is just there like you said, there
they
are
all
some
look like
misses.
Power Rangers.
But yeah, yeah, it's Kyle Higgins and his years of writing Power Rangers and then now being able to tell his own stories.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much. I'd be interested to see how much say he has in the other comics.
I think he has I don't know, but what I would assume is like things get run by him and I think he would be pretty
To see
open.
where they fit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So this is only a 3-issue series,
Right.
so I'm getting
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like
But
all of them have been really fun. Like the pink Radiant Pink, Radiant Red.
yeah,
Like those were fun side books. And like
yeah.
it's
I
okay.
mean,
Like I don't mind when they do like as earlier I was talking about how I'm sticking away from like books that veer off and on. These are more
image is
side
different.
stories.
We
Yeah.
understand.
These are more
Image is
side
different.
stories and yeah. Well, I mean, and also it's just I'm really invested in this world right now. Like that's
Yeah.
like Radiant Black I just did a whole binge on
Yeah.
and so
No, Radiant. I mean, Radiant Red. I thought was fantastic. I mean, that was a great character. Radiant Pink is on what, issue 2?
yeah, issue
Um,
3 soon.
out of 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Um, I'd assume they're gonna just keep with the Radiance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yellow's probably
we're gonna
next.
get Yellow probably next because he did just get like a 2-issue arc
Mhm.
of his own. Um, but I'd be interested to see once they've finally set everything up what happens. You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, this is issues, and seemingly, I mean, if her home is taken out of the universe, it's not going to cross over at all, probably. But
Right.
like, I'd be interested to see where, I mean, now this character falls once everything's settled in the universe. Because I mean, they are still building.
Yeah, and then there are
Each
established characters that can come back or whatever.
Yeah, each month shows us a new character in this universe that Image is building, and I'm excited for it all. I've said that probably so many times. You could string a whole 45-minute video of me just saying, "I'm here for it. I'm here for
Could you
it."
imagine like 2032, 2033, and then we're going to go see the Radiant Black movie?
Dude, yeah, sign me up.
Like the world is not ready. The world is not ready.
All right.
But
Well,
we have rambled on quite long.
we have gone on longer than normal.
So,
That's for sure.
we are in a
Oh,
ranting mood.
there's some sick
I
variants though
know
too.
we can't get into it. We've already gone like twice as
I
long
know
as we
you.
normally
I
do.
know.
But yeah. All right, let's dig into it. No.
Well, that one you put up is the B cover.
Yeah.
That one's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and we got the Radiant Black one,
Mhm.
1 in
The
50.
1 in 50.
Oh, I like that 1 in 25. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Very Power Rangers. But as we Google and Google at these variant covers, we will let you guys go. And until next week, we will catch you later.
See ya.